The bus rattled along its route, headlights cutting through the drizzle that had begun to fall. The man sat halfway down the aisle, his briefcase on his lap, his thoughts drifting. He believed he was the only passenger. The bus was quiet enough that he could hear the faint hum of the engine beneath the floor. Then he heard it, soft voices behind him. Children. At first he thought he imagined it. The evening buses were usually empty except for the regular commuters, but the voices grew clearer. "And if you turn around, the ghost will snatch you away and carry you off to the afterworld," one of the boys whispered urgently. The man felt a small smile tug at his lips. He recognized the voice. These boys were on this route almost every day, riding home from the private school near the last few stops. Their uniforms, their chatter, their backpacks full of textbooks and half-finished homework. He had seen them countless times. He listened, amused. The boys continued their spooky story with complete seriousness. "That's easy then," said the second boy. "Just don't turn around." "Yeah," the first boy replied, "but the ghost is tricky. It tries everything to make you turn. It'll whisper in your ear or tug on your sleeve. Sometimes it even pretends to be someone you know." A shiver traveled down the man's spine. He didn't know why. Kids told ghost stories all the time. Still, for some reason, the bus felt colder than before. He suddenly became aware of how dim the interior lights were, flickering occasionally as though the bus struggled to stay fully awake. They were approaching the boys' stop. The familiar corner store with its flickering neon sign flashed by the window. The man knew the kids usually pressed the stop button well ahead of time, but tonight they were completely absorbed in their conversation. "And once the ghost thinks you're not paying attention," the first boy continued, "that's when it moves. It gets closer and closer until—" The bus slowed, brakes squealing softly. The doors opened with a hiss, but neither boy stood up. The man turned slightly, half rising from his seat, ready to remind them. "Boys, this is your stop." But before he spoke, he hesitated. Why couldn't he hear them moving? Why didn't he hear the rustle of their backpacks or their shoes on the floor? The voices continued behind him, but they sounded wrong now, unchanged, as if the boys hadn't even noticed the bus stopping. As if they weren't reacting to anything at all in the real world. He cleared his throat, trying again to shake off a strange unease. He wasn't going to let a silly ghost story get to him. He turned his head a little more. Just tell them. Simple. But then, a small breath brushed the back of his neck. "Hey," a voice whispered. It wasn't quite either of the boys. It was too soft, too close, almost inside his ear. He froze. The boys kept talking behind him, repeating the same lines. "All you have to do is make sure you don't turn around. But the ghost will use tricks." The man's heartbeat quickened. For some reason, the bus felt longer now, as though the aisle stretched out behind him into darkness. Another whisper. "Turn around." He squeezed his eyes shut. This was ridiculous. There were children behind him, children he recognized, children who took this route every day. The bus doors began to close. If he didn't warn them now, they'd miss their stop entirely. He took a breath, steadying himself. "Don't let your imagination take over. Just turn around and speak." He turned. The bus pulled away from the curb, empty. The man was never seen again.